Hello! This video is focusing on multiplying 4 by 1 digit number using the area model and partial products. So the last video talked about 3 by 1 digit number using the area model and partial products, and this one is going to be using the same strategies but with 4 by 1 digit numbers. For example, if I had 1,253 times 4, and I wanted to solve this using the area model. Remember, I already know one side is going to have the 4 because that is a single digit, but I need to split up this 4-digit number by place value so I can figure out the parts of my area model for that. I'm going to start by drawing the area model first. Again, I know that one side is going to have a 4, so I can always start and fill that in first. And then if I split up 1,253 into the different place values, I know that that is made up of 1,250 and 3. So since that number is made up of 4 different place values, I need to split up my area model into 4 different pieces. I'm going to start by putting 1,000 up here, then 200, then 50, and then 3. So again, each of these pieces represents a different mini problem within the area model. And I'm going to start with this square first. So I know that the area of just this piece right here is going to be 1,000 times 4. I know that because this side is occupied by 1,000 and this side is occupied by 4. And we find the area by multiplying the length times the width. So if I multiply 1,000 times 4, I can look at that as 1 times 4. But because I am multiplying by 1,000, I just need to add 3 zeros. The next one is going to be 200 times 4. Again, I can look at that as 2 times 4, and I know 2 times 4 is 8. But remembering that we are multiplying by 100, or in the hundreds place, I need to add 2 zeros to my answer. This next box is going to be 50 times 4. I can think of that as 5 times 4, which I know to be 20. But because we are multiplying by a 10, I need to add an additional 0. So always do your math facts first, and then go back and make sure you are looking at what place value you are multiplying by, because I've seen plenty of people make the mistake of just leaving it as 20 because they see 1 0 in the answer, 1 0 in the problem, and they think they're done. But you need to check your math because we multiplied 5 times 4, which was 20, and we still need to add that extra 0 because we are multiplying by the tens place. All right, last but not least, I'm going to multiply 3 times 4 to get this last sliver. I know 3 times 4 is equal to 12. So all I need to do is add up each of these areas to get my answer. 4,000 plus 800 plus 200 plus 12 So starting in the ones place, 0 plus 0 is 0, plus 0 again is still 0, plus 2 more is 2, 0 plus 0 is 0, plus 0 is 0, plus 1 more is 1, 0 plus 8 is 8, plus 2 more is 10, 1 plus 4 is 5. So 1,253 equals 5,012. And just like I did with the first video, within this one I'm going to show a different strategy, which is just using partial products. So not taking the time to draw the area model, just using the numbers. So I'm going to erase the area model. And I still need these pieces because I need to multiply each of these parts by our single digit here. So what that looks like is I'm going to take 1,000 and multiply it by 4. But then I need to add that to 200 times 4. And then add that to 50 times 4. And then lastly, I need to add that to 3 times 4. Again, this looks very familiar because we just did the same thing using the area model, except I'm not taking the time to draw the area model. I'm just using the numbers. So parts of this number and multiplying it by our single digit. So that's why it's called partial products. Right. So if I am doing all of the multiplication, I'm going to start in the thousands place. 1 times 4 is 4. But because it is multiplied by 1,000, I need to add 3 zeros. Next, I add that to the hundreds place. So 2 times 4 is 8. But again, I am multiplying in the hundreds place, so I need to add 2 zeros. Next, we have the tens place. So 50 times 4, I can think of that as 5 times 4, which is 20. But because I'm in the tens place, I need to add that extra 0. Again, always check your work. Make sure you're multiplying the single digits, your math facts first, and then going back and seeing what place value we are actually in. If I just left it at 20, my answer doesn't really make sense because I started with 50 and I'm multiplying that by 4 more. So if my answer is only 20, I know I need to go back and check my work. Last but not least, we have the ones place. So 3 times 4, and I know that to be 12. And then we add up each of these pieces. It helps to keep things organized when you start in the largest place value and add down. So I started with 4,000, added 800, then went to 200, and then 12. So adding, I always start in the ones place. All zeros plus 2 is equal to 2. All zeros plus 1 is equal to 1. 0 plus 8 is 8, plus 2 more is 10. And 1 plus 4 is equal to 5. So I got the same answer. I got 5,012 for using the partial product strategy, and I got 5,012 using the area model. So not only is it a good way to check your work, but they are very much connected. So using the area model, it looks just like partial products, except instead of drawing the square for the area model, you just use the numbers. In the next video, you are going to see me demonstrate the partial products and also using the standard algorithm. So all of these strategies build off of one another, and they are very similar. It's just knowing where to start, how to break it up by the place value, and what to do next. So look for the assignment for this lesson on Canvas. It'll be in the same format like a quiz. And then the next video will be up for you to do.